It's Germany. It's the AFEI 2025. It's Connor armed with a slider to hit any.
So many bugs.
Yeah.
I don't even think that this would touch that grass. I think it get knocked down, it gets straight back up and be like,
that
what
grasshopper.
did you just throw at me?
I mean, Elliot, that grasshopper yesterday. Was it yesterday?
Yeah.
Was it yesterday? Oh,
It was last night.
yeah.
It was awful. Mid-game, I thought someone was tapping me on the shoulder. Little did I know it was a grasshopper. And then I felt it on my leg. I was like, surely someone's not touching my leg, right? I didn't see it, but I started squirming mid-game.
What was the context as well? Like, it wasn't just any game either.
No, it was the...
It's the
Was it the
final.
final?
Yes, it was the
It
guys'
was the
final
final.
against Omnia.
I think it was game 3. I want to say game
It was
3.
game. It was a game. No, was it match point? I think it was match point for them.
Yeah, I think it was match
Yeah,
It was
might have been
3-0,
match
we're
point,
3-0 down, and then-
we were 3-0 down.
And we were trying to just get some remnants of like a comeback, and then I think it was Roman that got attacked. He flinched first, and then everyone was looking around. You get tapped on the shoulder by this grasshopper, and then we lose.
Yeah, I'm like, mid-game, I'm like, who's tapping me on the shoulder? I'm about to start getting angry in a minute.
The size of it.
And...
It's literally like the size of. It was the size of that. The top of the microphone.
It was bad.
It was that.
I'm not even sure it was a grasshopper. It was like a locust.
Yeah, grasshoppers aren't that big, are they?
Yeah, but it wasn't making the noise though, was it?
No.
I'm not gonna try and make that noise.
I don't think it had the little spines on its legs.
Ah.
I think it. I don't know.
Well, either way, it was.
It was huge.
It was a funny way to end the night.
Yeah.
Albeit with a loss.
Thank you
But
for getting
was
rid of it,
funny.
Connor, as well.
Yeah, it's all right.
I
There's
couldn't.
got to be
have it.
someone brave enough to get rid of
Perfectly
a bug.
cooked
Yeah.
it.
I
Took it
mean,
away.
eight RAF personnel and 9 and 8 of us were too scared to deal with it.
It was terrifying.
It was quite. To be fair, it did fly into me this morning because it was on the car, wasn't it?
The same exact one.
The
you
same
reckon?
one.
What is it doing? Just camping here?
Just chilling.
Honestly.
probably around here somewhere.
Spinal. It's probably Air Force Gaming's like little bug drone.
Yeah,
He's
maybe
gonna
that's
join
how
the podcast in a minute.
Yeah, let's put up a seat. Oh, welcome to the show, Grasshopper. No, joking. Yeah, so obviously it's been a really busy. We've been on the road since Tuesday, obviously, and we're sat in a really nice village. I think we can all agree it's beautiful. We've chosen well for Airbnb.
It's very peaceful.
It is. It's nice.
Lovely weather as well.
Yeah, and it's the perfect sort of like where we are. It's the perfect sort of like getaway from the hustle and bustle of the event, and obviously the Pro League as well. And it's nice. We come back here. We have a little sort of base camp between the two sides. It's a nice relaxation. How have you found everything here at our home base? Is nice and comfortable now.
Very comfortable, very peaceful, so relaxing. Like you just get here and you shut off. So nice.
What's it like sharing a room with your team? It's your first time. I think the first time you shared a room with your teammates as well.
Funny.
Yeah. It helps.
Funny.
It helps.
Yeah.
I mean, Connor, I'm sure you probably understand as well. Like, it helps in these kinds of environments, being with your teammates in the same room. Like, it helps build the strength of the relationships,
100%.
and it translates to good performances.
100%. It's
What-
been the same
what
for
does it?
like other sports that I've done as well. So like going away to do illusion bits and pieces. Obviously, you're literally driving on the road for 3 days, getting to know people, and then you're sharing the rooms with them. You're doing all your sled work. You're talking about stuff. You're doing debriefs, and you bond, get to know each other better. Especially when it's like, for us, and it's kind of the same here. People from different camps. You might not necessarily have met some people
Yeah, yeah.
before, especially if you've got new players in the
Yeah.
teams. It's a good way to literally just unwind, just get to know people better, and just chill out.
How does it compare to like? Obviously, you've been a part of RAF sport as a whole, not just esports for a while. In all sorts of walks of it, F1, luge, as you say, winter sports. What is this? Obviously, you've been with us since Thursday morning.
Yeah.
So you've witnessed the media day, most of the practice day. You've witnessed the night with us here, and obviously day one of the competition day, which we'll get onto. What is it like for you, like walking into this environment with us? It's the first time you've been out to an event with us, right?
Yeah,
As well. What's it been like for you?
It's completely different, to be honest. The people aspect is obviously the same. There's always like high morale, good vibes. People just like, we're here to chill. Yes, like we're here to compete. We're here to represent. But then there's the complete flip side of just we're here to like hang out. It's a little bit of a time to just get away, get out of the office, get away from work. But then the flip side of it is like on the actual sporting side, there's so much from, especially with luge, where it's really intense for a really short part of the day. You go back to then like do your sled work and stuff, and then you can kind of chill for the evening.
Yeah.
It's still a relatively long day.
Yeah.
But for this, seeing you guys, obviously, the players in particular, if you're not on stage playing, you're off stage practicing and scrimming.
Yeah.
And it's non-stop.
Relentless,
So,
isn't it?
for you guys, and I can sense the fatigue, and especially rolling on from like the BFBS Pro League yesterday, that's a pretty long day in itself, and especially getting to the final when it's like 11 p.m. here, and then we're up at like 7, out the door for past. And then suddenly we're back here chilling again, and we don't want to talk about Rocket League today.
Yeah, exactly.
Long old day.
Yeah.
So it's hard, and I guess if I was to like throw it back to people watching it, especially like seniors who are trying to figure out like what is this esports thing, it's like it's not just sitting around playing games. No. It's mentally hard.
It's tough.
There's a lot of fatigue involved. So having someone like you around, Stel, as a coach is important for the boys to help maintain morale and bring smiles to people's faces.
We do try. I mean, we'll get onto it then. It is probably going to be the focus of this sort of mini podcast that we're doing. Day one then. So it was at the end of all the media and practice yesterday. Today was day one of the group stage round robin format. So we haven't got through all of it just yet. At time of filming, we are set to go into the second day of round robin, which also culminates in the first round of the double elim at time of filming. So it was a very long day, as you quite rightly pointed out. Again, we really enjoy it. I think it's worth commenting on as well. I'm sure you'd agree, Envy. The how the event's being run, how we're being treated by the guys that behind the AFEI, the Americans, Rally Cry. I think I'll start off by saying, I mean, it's absolutely incredible. And for one of your first major events, obviously you've done the inter-service land in December, which was obviously big, massive, in the tri-service scene in the UK, but this is your first international debut for the RAF Stormshadows. What has this been like for you? I'm kind of curious. Obviously, you're still a Phase 2 trainee. All your team are currently at React Guard. What's it been like for you coming out with us on an international stage, seeing the format, the lights, the production? Just chat a little bit about that. I'm curious.
It's just exciting. Like, it's obviously my first big event. It's like an introduction to what it's all about, really. All the media and stuff is incredible.
Crazy, isn't it?
Like, compared to in-services, I thought that was really good. But this is just another level.
Oh, yeah.
The Americans just do things differently when it comes to media and esports and stuff. It's insane. Actually competing here, it's similar to being on the stage at in-services, in my opinion. Obviously, there's a few more people watching you when you're playing. But I still get the same feeling when I'm up there.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, slight shakiness.
Yeah, normal.
But yeah, other than that, it's been phenomenal so
I mean,
far.
you seem to have grown a lot from the inter-service LAN as well. Obviously, you played very well there, I thought, as well. You are currently inter-service champions at the time of filming, which is great. Come on, Stormshadows. And we hope to obviously retain that this year. But that was literally throwing you in the deep end, because it was kind of just, that idea started off as, me and Ed are going to host an online inter-service championship for the RAF, Army and Navy. And then I had a message from Steve, Flight Attendant Stephen Rennie, one day, and said, you guys can make this into a LAN if you want. And that's when it all sort of started. And before we know it, we had a venue, we had funding, we had custom-made leaflets and trophies, courtesy of Ed and his hard work as well. And then we had a full-on event out of nowhere, which was pretty much handcrafted by myself and Ed, and with some good coordination as well from the Army and Navy. And it was amazing to see. That's the first time we've ever done that, by the way. So you come at a good time, and the level has continued to rise. And hopefully this year it's the same. But since then, obviously, that was throwing into the deep end. Like I said, you played very well, but you've grown a lot as a player, I think, Elliot, in these last 7 months. It's been since then. And you continue to grow. Do you feel that growth? Is what I want to know. Do you feel like you're developing your game mentally? Right.
Yeah, I mean, I've obviously gotten better at the game personally since then. But as a team, we've been playing a lot. We've been moulding together, and I think having that introduction at inter-services and then building on it for this, it just builds the team up and up and up. And
absolutely.
Just shows so much improvement from where we were to where we are now, especially with all the coaching from you.
Oh,
Cash.
Stop it.
It's just, there's so much of a difference. It's really nice to see.
Yeah, we're proud of it as well. Like, it's all of our teams from Hurricanes to Stormshadows, they're always pushing to and striving to be the best it can be. So it's the first team, the Stormshadows, has to lead the way, and it comes with a lot of pressure and responsibility being in that first team. And it's nice to know that we have dedicated people like yourself who, alongside P and Ed and Slayer as well when he's out of training eventually, keep up in level, and you guys are the example. And you see, Shadows are technically the third team, and they're following your lead, and they're performing well. They're making themselves proud. But yeah, I mean, we'll go into it then. So as you know, as you saw, Connor, as you were watching on from the crowd, day one started off with the Stormshadows against the Air Force gaming side, the US Air Force. Now they're coming straight off a 32-0 record last year, where they didn't drop a single game. As you saw in the practices, we scrimmed them hard for a few hours, and it felt like at times hitting our heads against the wall. And speaking to you when we lost to them in round one of the round robin, you made an interesting point about the scrims and then playing them on stage.
Yeah, I remember what I said. It felt like, or at least it looked like to me, that because like you'd scrimmed them for like quite a few games, and you couldn't find a way past them, and they were just like they were banging goals in. It almost looked like for fun.
Yeah.
And I was stood behind and I was watching them and I was listening to those guys as well. And they've got like one guy who just doesn't speak.
Really?
Yeah. So Crow doesn't really ever talk.
Really?
Chowder is actually really quiet. Is it Buck?
Buck,
the third guy, also pretty quiet. And it's like it's a complete contrast to the way that these guys come, where it's constant, it's relentless. It's I'm giving you situational awareness about where I am and what I'm doing and what my intent is and my direction.
Yeah.
And you're all trying to listen to each other, which I've never really competed or had to come at that level, which I imagine for these boys is when you're tired and you're fatigued, it's exhausting, right?
Yeah, it's tough.
And again, that's the other side of esports that people don't see because it's all up here. So it's really interesting to see those two contrasts. And yeah, the point I made was from the scrims, it looked like you almost, because you were like you didn't win any of the scrim matches, which doesn't necessarily matter in your stuff. It was almost like it got in your head that right, well they're not beatable, and it looked like it influenced the stuff that happened on stage. I mean, I could be completely wrong, and you could be just like real quietly confident, and no one showed any emotion, and you guys were like stone cold. But for me, I was like, I wonder if there is a mental impact on it where you've just been relentlessly like scored on by these guys, then you go straight onto stage to play them again, and maybe necessarily haven't had a chance to just go and smash in a few goals against weaker opposition just to build confidence. So
it's interesting. It's a good point, and I agree, and I also disagree in a couple of points. And I'll come to you because you're obviously playing live and direct on the pitch is different from my view as a coach. But so scrims against the Air Force guys in the morning was a lot. I think it was at least an hour and a half towards the end of practice day. So it was usually scrims are 1 hour, so it's a big chunk of time. And as you said, we found no joy, but we still, because obviously me and Ed experienced the obviously I played last year. Ed played last year as well, and we experienced the Air Force side last year and with the 32-0 run, and they were absolutely insane. And don't get me wrong, Chowder, Buck and Crow are also insane. I mean, I think Relic mentioned it on the cast. They have a factory line of SSLs and just quality players, and it's true, they do. Yeah. They are insane players and good guys as well. Like good sports. They're happy to give us help and advice, and happy to oblige on scrims all the time. They're great guys. I've got and take nothing away from them. But in my opinion, they're not as good as Chowder, Tut and Low Tech were last year. So me, Ed, pretty much clocked that straight away. And we're trying to relay that to P and Envy that they're beatable. They're beatable. And even still, as we sat here after we've been battered by them, I still think we can beat them if we're perfect. And we will face them again. What happened? It's hard to say. There was a few moments where we became flustered in comms. There was a bit of... there was a few discussions during the game that potentially should have happened after the game, and it was interrupting our flow. Yeah. But it's completely normal, and in that kind of scenario, it just happens out of pure frustration, because last year we did not come out of that of a game against AFG thinking like being annoyed. We were coming out, we were in good spirits, like we gave it a good go, because the gap was that big. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, they are still world class and miles better than every other team at this tournament, but we feel the gap's a lot closer than it's ever been. So that's where the frustration came from. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Is that where the frustration in that first series came from? Yeah,
it's like we've played people before who are better teams on paper. We look at them, we're like, oh, we can take games off them. It shouldn't be too hard to get a win or two off them. Like even if we don't win the whole series, just get anything from the games. And the fact that we didn't get anything from the games, it's
Tough.
disheartening, because you see the people you've beaten before. You're like, oh, we've beat really good teams before, in scrims, in tournaments before, and you get here and you're like, well, what are we doing wrong? Why are they so hard to beat? And I think that's where most of the frustration came from, because we know we can do better, and we know we've done better before, but we just didn't know like what needed to change this time around.
And it was evident. The frustration was evident. Like, and we went away as a team. Connor, I'm sure I'd let you know about this as well. We went away as a team, and we discussed it as a group, what we thought went wrong. We created a plan to, for me as a coach, to try and remove pressure from the players and give them more sort of mental space to work with. And then we came into the second series against the French Air Force, which again last year we comfortably beaten them. They have a new side. They have the only same player is Zalu, lovely guy, and I have to shout out the French, by the way. They are unbelievable guys, and they invited us around for barbecue tomorrow, which is nice. Look forward to it.
All the little freebies and the patches and stuff that they've given us as well is
unbelievable.
Awesome.
They are honestly the GOATs, but honestly, going into that series, I was very, very confident, knowing what I knew last year, where we 4-0'd them, without being disrespectful, really comfortably. I don't think they even scored a goal. I think it was a complete shutout. So going into that, not knowing too much about their new roster, which we had show matched once before and beaten them again comfortably, I was pretty confident, as you can probably come to expect. And we started off really well. And a bit of a controversial moment, I thought, about this particular series was my coaching style is 90% in between the goals. Like as soon as the ball goes out of play in RLCS rules, the coach can speak. As soon as it's in play, you can no longer speak. So a lot of my coaching style, personally, comes in those moments, and less so out of the outside of the game in the 1 minute break. I can do a lot there as well, but the majority of my my influence comes in those pockets of.
It's in the moment, isn't it?
Exactly.
It's as something's happened.
Exactly.
It's responsive and reactive.
And that's because I'm also I'm mainly a mental coach and not a performance coach. So usually a performance coach speaks at the end of a game and says, "Okay, guys, we did this wrong. Here's how we can change our plan." Blah blah. I try to do that, but my strength is those pockets. And in the middle of we started off really well. I think you would agree. It was pretty comfortable in the first game. The French then came back and it was 1-1. We then went 2-1 up, and in that match point game in game 4, I got pulled by the referee whilst I was giving advice on after we just scored to go 1-0 up in match point, and told me basically that I wasn't allowed to coach during the play, and it took me a bit off guard. So I kneeled down, which you will probably all see on camera. I spoke to the referee and told him, I showed him my phone and said, I'm in Discord with the players. Like, I need to be able to talk to them. I need to hear them. And he looked at me with a very puzzled face and said, no, you can't do that. And so essentially I was kind of muted, and 90% of my, I felt anyway, I don't know how the players felt, 90% of my influence sort of just died in that moment, and the players were sort of left to fend for themselves in a difficult scenario, because the French were really, really good. They were playing excellent. And when they went to 2-2, when they equalised to 2-2 and it went to series, well, to sudden death, sorry, at that point it's a coin flip, because I'm sure. I mean, did you hear any of the disruption with me talking to the referee? I think Ed mentioned it.
Yeah, I turned around once or twice when goals went in. I was like, "What is going on behind me?"
And did you feel the impact of it? Like, did it?
Yeah, especially like when you're not talking between goals. It's like you just every time we concede or we score, we're like waiting to hear what you say.
Yeah, I felt that.
We can't, because we have to wait till the end of the game.
Yeah.
Could see it from the seats as well, particularly because Ed was sat in the middle and was the most visible to where I was sat. I could just see like the countdown's coming on, but Ed's still like turning around, seeing like what the hell was happening behind me.
Yeah,
so you could just sense the disruption from the crowd as well, which is frustrating. And rules are rules, obviously, but
rules are rules.
The timing was pretty
yeah, poor. The timing is what hurt the most, because it was like we had we agree, we were flowing pretty well. Like the moment it happened, it was 1-0 in game 4, 2-1 up in the series and heading for victory, right? And it was that moment it happened. Yeah. So it was devastating, really, but I still felt we had enough in there comfortably to win and get it over the line. But to the French's credit, they never gave up, and I've got to give them their credit. They were fantastic. I mean, how did it feel for you from that moment onwards against them? Like, would you agree that they played well, or would you say that it was us that took our foot off the gas a little bit?
Yeah, they definitely played well. I mean, when I was going into the game, I had no idea like what to expect. I didn't know what ranks they were, how they played. I've never played them before.
Of course, yeah, of course.
So when I got in there, I didn't know what to expect. Obviously, we did pretty well. In the first 3 games, was it 2-1?
2-1.
3 games.
2-1, yeah.
Yeah, I was pretty comfortable. We dropped a game, but I was like, you know, it happens sometimes.
Yeah, of course.
And all the disruption started, and I was like, you just lose focus.
Yeah, absolutely. Rhythm.
Yeah, like you get into a flow, and it just gets completely shut down by people talking behind you.
Absolutely.
You know, and then asking what's going on, why can't you, like, and then the rest of the series, I mean, obviously, it was then, they won 2 games in a row then, after that, to win it, and there were some mistakes by us, but it really got the mental, like, really affected our mental when we were playing, when we made the mistakes. Obviously, everyone got a bit, like, heated afterwards, not heated, but like, how do I describe
frustrated. It was frustration.
Yeah, and everyone had to take some time to go cool down. We all had to have a talk. Like, yeah, it is what it is. French played really well.
They did. They were buzzing, weren't they, as well? They were ecstatic, and good for them. Like,
I'm happy for them.
You know,
great guys.
They are.
Great guys.
And we spoke about it, didn't we? We said that the losing to the French Air Force was easier than losing to the AFG because A, they're such lovely people, and B, they like us, they really, really care. Like, they came last year. I think they finished bottom last year, and they've improved their team. Attitude is phenomenal, and even, you know, we were gracious in defeat. We, you know, gave them all hugs and shook their hands and congratulated them as we should. And equally, they were coming up to me during our series after that and asking, like, how are your boys doing? How are you guys doing? Are you guys feeling better? Like, are you gonna bring it back tomorrow? That kind of stuff, like, which I think is great. It shows you the relationship we built with them. And this, for you, is obviously your first one. This will be the start of a good relationship with those guys, and you'll see them online as well. But to their credit, they were phenomenal, and you know, they deserved their win, I thought. And as much as it hurts as well, because I thought we were all really good, I do think the distraction snapped us out of a flow, and it's always difficult at that point. Always difficult. I mean, Connor, you've competed in esports at high level for the RAF, and, you know, inter-service or RAF level F1, and you've done representative sport elsewhere as well. You know all about flow, I'm sure, and how getting knocked out of it is such a damaging thing.
It can be, and luge is probably a better example, where you need to get so in the zone before a run, and you can do so much visualization. You can lay in your sled in the evening, you can just close your eyes and you can feel the track, you visualise, put your steers in and you prep and you prep and you prep. You can get to one moment and where things happen so quickly, and sometimes for the runners that we do, you can be on the ice for as long as like maybe 30 seconds up to maybe just over a minute, and you're only doing that 3 times a day. So 3 minutes a day on the ice is not a very long time, but when you're in those moments and you make a small mistake, it can be quite painful. And I did have quite a big crash in Norway, and it was the biggest crash I've ever had. I think it was maybe like 110k, so it was painful. Like face plant the ice, smash my elbow, which is still pretty sore, which is why I'm not leaning my elbow on the armrest. Yeah, and it snaps you, and all of a sudden, like, my ribs hurt, my elbow hurts, I feel a bit crunched. I've got 2 more runs to do to like post my times and try and get a place in. Like,
and suddenly your rhythm's gone.
And that's it, and it's gone, and it can really affect you mentally. And it's to the point of, like, that whole week I was like, oh, there's something wrong with my sled, the steering doesn't feel right. And straight away I knew exactly what I was doing. I was like, I'm talking myself out of what is
self-talk. An
absolutely fine sled here. It's been used for years without being touched by a guy who's represented GB, so the sled is absolutely fine. And it's just taken a few days for me to just kind of get smashed around and realise, okay, this is actually just a me thing to fix.
Yeah.
And I would say that's probably such a good thing for players to be able to do, to sit and reflect on something.
Absolutely.
In a calm environment like this, to just be able to be like, right, here's what happened today, here's what I'm going to do tomorrow.
Yeah, 100%.
And environments like this where you can sit and you can chat with your teammates as well is such a good environment for us to be able to do that.
Perfect, 100%. We'll quickly move on then to the last series of the day, which was the RAF Shadows. We played our third team. Again, I mean, they've really impressed me. They have gone 0-9 in day one. However, that is genuinely, like, undeserved. They have played some really good Rocket League today, you know, they should be proud of themselves. Having worked so hard to get here, you know, across 2 or 3 years of work, you know, haven't stopped. They've been relentless. It's so cool to see them with all the lights and the filming, and Steve doing that cold thing with the
media
camera.
stuff.
So good. But obviously we took them on last game of the day, and we got our first win. It was, from my perspective as coach, obviously with the new rules I had to deal with, I found my rhythm a little bit. I was able to sort of guide you guys in the minute if I needed to, and the majority of the instructions I gave to you was to pick up your speed and make them play to your speed, because that's what I think they can't handle. It's playing at your level, and I think you guys executed it pretty good. I think. Would you agree?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Shadows, we know we can beat them. We just went into the game confident, I think, which I think is the main difference.
Yeah.
Like compared to the French and the Air Force, I wasn't very confident personally.
Yeah.
But as the day progressed, I got a lot more confident in my ability and how we were playing as a team. And then it got to the Shadows, and I'm like, yeah, let's just go for it. We had a bit of fun with them as well.
Yeah, it was a good laugh. It was a good laugh.
Yeah,
They're good sports.
We all
aren't
had fun.
they? Yeah.
There's no upsets, so yeah, it's just enjoyable.
They're good sports, aren't they? They're good sports. They're lovely guys as well. So, so that brought us to the end of day one, pretty much. We went to get some supplies for the house, and then watched the last series, which was a good series in the end. The Navy surprisingly took a game off of the US Air Force, which is crazy.
It did.
They
were 3-1 up at one point.
Mad.
In game 2, I think it was.
Mad. I look forward to seeing more of them tomorrow. Obviously, we play them as well. But yeah, I think it's a good place to wrap up. I think you'll agree, boys. It was a good day one, and we look forward to tomorrow. For Stormshadows, we got Coast Guard first. So yeah, I think we're gonna ignore Rocket League for the rest of the night and then wake up with a fresh mind. And yeah, I think it's a good time to wrap it up. Let's get it tomorrow, okay?
Let's go, boys. Let's go.